Just trying to see. All right.
Hold on, let me see.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we gotta be.
Oh shit!
Go.
All right, here we are. Hey, it's preseason for the podcasters, y'all. Preseason for the podcasters. Things happen. If Sammy Reyes can bobble, we can. So we here. I hope you are.
We here.
We here, baby.
We're going to talk about overall reaction to our preseason game. We're going to talk starters, offense, defense. We're going to slide into the rookies, and we're going to even talk about the new revamped Washington Wizards. So, as we always do and say at this time, let's get it.
That'll get raunchy. Same spot made Biggie wanna rock Versace. DC, home of the Prez.
The Wizards is a new, somewhat improved, people would say. As a matter of fact, I believe it was, I don't know if it was the NBA or ESPN, had us as the #1 top tier in trades and free agency. That was trending around Twitter for a little bit. That was also a little while ago. Big Al. And things change overnight. Things, get to a point where people are still making moves. But overall, we have a new squad. We have a new coach. We have a new fever for the Wizards. One thing about NBA. Rebuilding doesn't take that long, as you can see, and so the last year's squad doesn't exist. I mean, it's a whole other thing, and so we're going to look a little bit into that.
Yeah, before you go into that, Trey, let me say thank everybody for wishing and praying for a new coach. It finally happened for us,
y'all.
It finally happened. And let's go forward. Let's make some noise, man. Let's make some noise.
As a matter of fact, Mr. Unsell Jr., make sure you got to put that JR on the end, because we have a legend here in Washington, Mr. Wes Unsell. But his son now, who takes the reins as a coach, has brought in all of his cronies, or if you want to call them assistant coaches. So that house has been cleaned out. Listen, It's a new beginning for real.
Yeah.
Washington as a whole, we're now going into our sophomore season with the football team. We got a whole new basketball squad, and not to mention the burn down, and it's hard to watch, of our Nats with all the baby Nats on there now, struggling to get a win. But it's just the beginning of something big. We know it later on, but you got to buckle up. But let's go, man. How y'all feel about our new Washington Wizards here? These young men seem eager. We got some folks on the squad, y'all, man.
Yeah,
All stars. What's up? What's up?
Well, one thing we know, the Afro was in, baby. The Afro was in. Got put no Jerry Curl juice in it, baby.
I tried again.
The Afro was in, baby. But hopefully we can be better defensively. Montage Harrell,
All-star,
Holiday, all of those guys are defensive players. We got a little bit better defense. We'll see. Kuzma's a gunner. We know that. We got a whole bunch of forwards and a whole bunch of defensive players. So I think we're going to be much better defensively. I think that's most definitely we're going to be much better defensively.
Yeah.
And hopefully by that we can get some transition baskets. You know what I'm saying? That's the key. And we can make it a little bit easier for Bradley Beal, because Bradley's going to get his. He's going to get his. He'll get his 30.
And this is the guy that's going to be feeding him the rock.
Right.
Dinwiddle, right there. I think that
he looked healthy too. That was good.
All these guys right now take good pictures. They look like basketball players. They seem to like each other right now. You know what I'm saying? So chemistry is going to be important because chemistry fosters synergy. Yeah. And so we have some chemistry on and off the court. That's one of the things that surprisingly so shout out to Russell Westbrook, who I had a very negative feeling coming in here because his press was bad. But ultimately, he got us to the playoffs with that synergy and that development with Mr. Beal. And so I'm hoping that these guys do the same with Beal and the current players that we still have here. I like our center position. What's the word on the gentleman who got hurt? Mr. Bryant.
Yeah. He's working back into shape.
Yeah, man, that'd be nice, man. But Gafford right now, we talked about the Gaffords, and I'm looking for him. I'm waiting for you to put them out.
Oh, that was the Hutchinsons, man.
No.
Hutchinson. We lost my man Hutchinson.
We talked about Gafford too until he shut us up.
Is Hutchinson still
Hutchinson?
Nah, they traded him. They traded him for Dinwiddie. I think he was in the Dinwiddie trade.
Now, the Hutchinson's shoes, I think they done relegated him to slides now. He stayed on the bench.
Is the Lakers
might as well be country.
Bertans?
Yeah, I think Bertans is still here right now, correct?
Yeah, we still got Bertans.
Yeah.
Okay, well, hopefully, like I said, defense.
Crowd favorite.
Hey, Caldwell Pope said he grew up with Bradley Beal, played in his AAU team. Already has a chemistry with him. The new point guard is a good friend of Bradley Beal's. Apparently, they hang out, blah blah. So hopefully they which
tells you they are trying to keep Bradley Beal happy.
Right. So they got people that Bradley works out with in the summertime in California. A lot of them go out to California and work out.
Wouldn't you? Sure.
Right.
We need to stay around here.
So hopefully we keeping Bradley happy. Hopefully we get him extension to his deal, and hope we building a defensive team that can put some points up, that can compete against the 76ers and the new look Knicks and the Boston Celtics. And Miami got better, and then we also got to go through the guy up in the Greek Freak. That's the champion.
Hey man, what about?
They didn't really do
Nets,
too much,
man? What about the Nets, man? I mean,
we will beat the Nets. Of course, they weren't full strength.
Yeah, I'm about to say the hero right now, and undoubtedly I think right now overall they got your boy after he got his gold medal, Mr. Durant, who pretty much put the Olympic team on his shoulders to bring home that gold. They got him second to Giannis as far as the best in the league, which is shockingly because he was really the question if he was better than LeBron. But LeBron is coming in an easy third now. It's things are changing, man.
Well, he's old.
Age does that, age does that.
Yeah,
but here's where that conversation is going to come up, and I know it already is that can you now look at Jordan, who was always old? It seemed like Jordan came in the league old, or the old spirit or whatever like that, or old soul as they say. But Jordan played well into. I mean, he was a wizard. Everybody don't want to talk about that, but
he was in his 40s.
Hey man, Jordan in his 40s is putting up 30 points a game.
Easy. Yeah. So when you talk old, and then you talk about the greatest of all time, and we and I hate it for LeBron because he's still a phenom, and so for you to cast him aside because he's just not, windmill dunking and all that stuff like that, I'm like, nah, he's still great.
It's a different game.
Yeah, but it is. Yeah, it's a different game from the eras, yes. Mm-hmm. But like I said, Big Al Jordan plays 41 years old for the Wizards. And
Jordan has the most games played per season, average. I think he played all 82 games like 9 times. LeBron played once.
Incredible.
Wow.
That's incredible. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the famous one game when he was sick, that was always, I was like, man, you flopping. You ain't sick.
Yeah. So, and listen, as far as I was about to go into the Wizards, man. And look, I was for the trade for Westbrook and Wall. I felt that was a good trade. It worked out for us. We got into the playoffs. We hadn't been there in a while,
a long time.
He was obviously the driving force as well. I mean, his mastery of the triple double was incredible.
Right.
I mean, this dude was punishing people.
That's right.
But he had a flaw, which was defense and free throws. We couldn't count on the free throws, and he was 50-50 from shooting. So, listen, I liked Westbrook. I would have had no problem keeping him. But when we traded him to LA, I was happy that we got back something of value.
Yeah.
What we got back in value mostly was Octavius Caldwell-Pope and Montrezl Harrell. And Montrezl Harrell is the main one because he's aggressively on defense. We need some anger. We got a lot of nice dudes. Montrezl Harrell is an aggressive player.
Right.
We need that. Right. So I was looking for them to trade Kuzma and Pope for one more good player.
They might do that too.
They may, but right now I just want them to stay pat. I want them to stay where they are because sometimes you do too much, and then you lose the ability to come together because everybody's so many people going in and out.
Everybody's on the chopping block, right?
These guys are practicing already together, trying to build chemistry.
Right.
So let's just stay here. Let's see if Kuzma's going to do anything. He has the potential. He's been a disappointment, but then there's a lot of players who play with LeBron who have been disappointments and gone somewhere else and been better. So we don't know what Kuzma is going to be this year. We don't. I think Pope is going to be fine. He's a steady player. He's a bench player, but he comes in and he's steady. He's not going to lose you a game for not knowing how to play defense or jacking up shots that aren't, his shots. So I want them to stay steady right now. Play what we got. I mean, something falls in our hands, of course, but.
So Deacon, if Carl Anthony Towns fall in my hands, we shouldn't take
it. Come on, stop it.
Yeah. Okay. I got you.
Now you're just being the funny guy now.
Hey. No, man, this is an intellectual conversation.
We always got the jokey jokes.
Sometimes we just got to ask those hard questions. But the funny thing is, man, you brought up playing with LeBron, man, and this is weird. The talk of the town was the Schroeder turning down $80 million for 4 years. Like it was like $20 million, and now you got 1 year for $5. And man, when I tell you, boy, he's catching it, man. So
you can't beat Twitter. You can't beat the internet.
The internet is undefeated, brother.
All day long,
undefeated, and they're killing them. But it goes to show you, man, that sometimes like when Deacon was talking about stay pat, that's what made me reminded me. I was like, bing, yep. I know he's gonna have to play that whole year. Oh man, and I just know the fans are gonna give it to him. And we get to the free throw, $5 million. I mean, and it's sad because I don't know what I would do for $5 million. But this guy, oh man, that's just so hard, man. I mean, stay pat, y'all. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta stay pat.
Well, as a matter of fact, let me cut you off, Al, but I'll lose this point for a minute. I know last year we were talking about, well, not last year, but during the playoffs and stuff, we were talking about. You said Westbrook reminded you. No, you said Ish reminded you of Robert Pack.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was the coach. He was a coach on the team.
Mm-hmm.
He coached there. I didn't know that.
Matter of fact, I remember when he first got here, and I was like, see, this is what I'm talking about.
The guy who was talking to him.
We were losing, and Westbrook had his jaw on the floor, and the dude was like, hey, man, you a superstar. And I'm going to say Robert Pack was the one that got him fired up. He was like, yo, and I use that to say how I get on my football team. Hey, man, I need to see coaches when somebody do something dumb, and the cameras love that. They'll go right over there, and that coach is like, man, that's what I want to see, because that is what coaches do. Or even when they're down, and let's say, for example, hey, man, look, you got to get back in the game. Don't worry about it. Let's do this, whatever. But you could see them coaching. I saw a lot of people doing this. And when you're doing this, that's not enough, because now you got to depend on these guys to motivate themselves, and that's your job. Your job is to be Mr. Motivator, Mr. Inspiring, Mr. Reminding, Mr. Sometimes slap them in the helmet, like, if I see you miss another block, and that's what makes athletes get out there and perform, man.
Even if they only make it $5 million. So
$5 million.
As we wrap this up a little bit, fellas.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
The small forward, the power forward position is going to be a lot of competition on this Wizards team.
That's our whole team.
Anybody want some forwards?
We got that's the team right there. We got like 10 of them, and who's going to start? Who's going to get traded? Who's going to get cut? It's a lot on that small forward and power forward position, and we drafted small forwards, and even the guy we picked up in the latest draft as a 2-guard, but he looks like a small forward, the way he plays. I ain't see no ball handling skills from him. I ain't see no penetration from him.
You talking about Kispert, man?
Kispert, yeah.
Don't be talking about Kispert. Kispert, he's a rookie.
Kispert.
Now, I saw Kispert in the summer league. They had a little blurb on him, man, and he's very comfortable. He's coming from a leadership position. He was out there in the summer league talking like a leader. He was talking on the court. Certain fundamentals that that he got from great coaching. So him bringing that and coming in, and I did see him, spin around off the dribble. Someone caught the ball, doing what I expect him to do, make that shot. We need some shooters, and that's what we got, a shooter, hopefully. And so, and then maybe Big Al, that might motivate Mr. Lafayette Laser, right? What's his name? The Lafayette, Mr. Bertan. Maybe that'll motivate him, because remember, Deacon said it, the band was on fire. You know what I'm saying? He was like, oh my God, he can't miss anything. Got here, he can miss things. And so maybe he needs that motivation to say, I still want to play. I don't want to be relegated to obscurity. And the NBA is unforgiving.
We got 10 players for 2 positions. So
yeah, really we do. We do. We had the starter. Then we're just gonna start.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about Aaron because he's gonna be the backup.
Right.
You got Bradley Beal, and then you got Rui. Everybody else is questionable as who's starting because we don't know what Brian's going to be when he comes back. So it may be either him or Gafford, and everybody loves Gafford at this point. But he's still young and he still needs to work. He needs to he doesn't have a post game. It's just all slammer jammer here. So we got a lot of work to do, but we got some players. Now I'm not sure how it's going to match up against the rest of the league, but I think if they're trying to rebuild the team, you can't really expect much this year. It's the next year that everybody has to come together.
Well, we definitely have to weed through these small forward and power forward to get to our starters and our second team guys because there's a lot of them. Who's the best?
Yeah, but who's going to be on the team already. You just don't know who's going to start.
Right.
That's right. Well, look, it's a good place to be, and we got a coach who's going to, burn everything down and develop some plays.
Prayer works.
We'll actually see some plays. We'll actually see some attempts to adjustments when they are needed.
Some fundamental defense.
To actually keep us in the game. If our offense,
how about just leadership?
Hey,
leadership.
No, but that's not a small thing, and I like what you said, man. I like that. That's right. Just inspiring the team, inspiring this fan base, man. And once that happens, the sky's the limit. So even if we don't get to the playoffs this year, it's all going to matter how they play together and what they do. And when people come to Washington and know, man, this ain't no easy win. That's all it takes sometimes, man. Get that respectability going into the next year, maybe getting that extra man or somebody starting to say, you know what, I can go play with Bradley and them. Them boys about ready to turn it out. Look at the Celtics. look at those are those kind of teams where every time they got all this transition going on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so, I know. Come on, I know. I think our area is better than Boston. Come on. So, if it's not the same thing.
You trying to talk about Schroeder again, man? Leave him alone, man. Leave him alone, man.
Oh, man. I'm saying that it's going to be up. Shout out to Schroeder. I hope he screws the whole world wrong. Get the big bucks later on. You know, stay pat. DMV Sports 3-1. Thank you all for coming with us. And one more time, listen, one more again. Make sure that you hit the like button and be on the lookout, because there won't be any more like buttons and you won't hear me talking about subscribing once the DMVSports3.com hits. Oh my goodness, we're working on that. We're trying to get it together, because remember, we are for the fans, by some fans, man. We're all about you. We just want a place for you to be able to come and hear some fun content, share your content. We'll be able to do that too. And just enjoy being here in the DMV and doing things for all things DMV sports and community. So again, thank you, Deacon, Big Al,
Yo,
and me, Mr. Wright.
So sad.
We got to have a lot of money to have a real good time.